Hey everyone, welcome back to Retro Reel Recaps. Today, we're diving into the movie Enemy at the Gates. This is the true story of a Russian sniper who took down many German soldiers during World War II while defending Stalingrad. The Germans then sent their best sniper to hunt him down. What follows is an intense battle. Who is the better shooter? The movie starts in the snowy Ural Mountains. A young boy and his grandfather are hiding, waiting to hunt a wolf. They've tied up their horse as bait. The grandfather teaches the boy, stay silent. The prey must never know you're there. This lesson becomes the core of his sniping skills later. The wolf creeps closer to the horse. The boy must shoot it to save his horse. His grandfather whispers, wait for the right moment. Now it's 1942. Germany has taken over most of Europe and now wants Russia. Their main target? Stalingrad. They believe capturing it means controlling all of Russia. We see a train packed with Russian soldiers and a few civilians. The boy from the start is now a man, Vassili Zaitsev. He's been drafted into the Red Army and is heading to Stalingrad. On the train, he notices a girl named Tanya Chernova, reading a book. When she catches him staring, he quickly looks away. The train stops and Tanya gets off. Only soldiers remain as the train moves forward. The next stop is the banks of the Volga River, facing the destroyed city of Stalingrad. When the train doors open, the soldiers freeze in fear at the chaos in front of them. Russian officers scream at them to get on boats and cross the river to Stalingrad. But it's not easy. The Germans are bombing the river with artillery, planes, and machine guns. The young soldiers board the boats, but as they move, bullets and bombs rain down. Some panic and jump into the water to escape. But the Russian officers shoot them for deserting. They want to set an example. No one runs from battle. Only a few boats make it to the other side. As soon as they land, the soldiers are ordered to the front trenches. Rifles and ammo are handed out, but only one rifle for every 2 soldiers. The officers shout, "You go in pairs." One gets the rifle, the other gets ammo. When the first man falls, the second picks up the gun. When it's Vasili's turn, he only gets ammo. The soldier next to him gets the rifle. They rush forward under heavy German fire. Vasili keeps whispering, "I need a rifle." He knows he's a great shot, but without a gun, he's helpless. A whistle blows. The Russian soldiers charge at the German lines. But the Germans are well hidden and open fire, cutting down the Russians one by one. A soldier with a rifle falls near Vasili. Before he can grab it, another soldier snatches it and runs ahead. Vasili stops and watches as his comrades are slaughtered. Some try to retreat, but the Russian officers shoot them too. The battlefield is filled with screams and gunfire, until every Russian soldier is dead. After the battle, we see a Russian military vehicle speeding through the war zone. But suddenly, boom, a German tank blasts it. The vehicle flips over, but the driver crawls out alive, slightly wounded. This man is Commissar Danilov, a political officer in the Russian army. Smoke fills the air as Danilov runs to a fountain covered with dead Russian soldiers. He hides among the bodies, pretending to be dead. A German patrol arrives and shoots the corpses to make sure no one's alive. Miraculously, Danilov isn't hit. The Germans leave, thinking the area is clear. Danilov spots a rifle nearby and quietly crawls toward it. Nearby, a German officer starts taking off his clothes, preparing to bathe. Danilov aims his rifle, ready to shoot. But then a whisper stops him, "Don't. You'll give away our position." It's Vasili. He tells Danilov, "Let me shoot. I'll time my shots with the bombing noises. They won't hear the rifle." Danilov, impressed by Vasili's confidence, hands him the rifle. Vasili takes position and bang, bang, bang. He kills every German, each shot a perfect headshot, starting with the bathing officer. Danilov is shocked by Vasili's skill. The two introduce themselves and sneak back to Russian territory. Later, Danilov has an idea. As a propaganda officer, his job is to boost Russian morale. He decides to make Vasili a hero, printing his story in newspapers and pamphlets. This will inspire Russian soldiers, counter German propaganda, and help Danilov's career. Soon, Vasili's face is everywhere. The newspapers, the walls, even army letters. Days later, Chairman Nikita Khrushchev, a top Russian leader, arrives in Stalingrad. The city is named after Stalin. Losing it would be a huge blow to Russia. Khrushchev is furious at the losses. He asks his officers for new ideas, but they keep suggesting the same old failed tactics. Then Danilov speaks up. "We need hope, not punishment. Let's create a hero, someone who makes people want to fight." Khrushchev loves the idea. and promotes Danilov on the spot. Vassili is now officially a sniper, part of an elite sharpshooter unit. From this moment, Vassili becomes Russia's biggest war hero. His stories fill newspapers, posters, and letters. One day, while on a mission, a young Russian boy named Sasha Filippov spots Vassili. He's a huge fan and invites him to dinner at his small, humble home. Sasha's mother cooks for Vassili, thanking him for defending Russia. Soon, Danilov arrives with fan letters from all over the country. To keep up the propaganda, Danilov makes Vassili reply to every letter, though he dictates the words, since Vassili isn't great at spelling. While Vassili and Danilov are at Sasha's house, another person arrives, Tanya, the girl from the train. She's like a sister to Sasha and has joined the local militia. Danilov is struck by her beauty, but she's also useful. She speaks fluent German since she studied at Moscow University. Danilov wants to recruit her to help decode German messages, but Tanya wants to stay and fight with the militia. She changes her mind when Danilov explains, "If you help us, we'll send 12 soldiers to replace you." Now Tanya joins Danilov's team. Stalingrad is now hell on earth. Both sides refuse to retreat. With Vassili and his sniper team picking off Germans one by one, the enemy is losing badly. The Germans are furious. So, they call in Major Erwin Konig, the best sniper in their army, the head of Germany's sniper school. Konig arrives in Stalingrad by train and meets the German general. His mission? Kill Vassili. But Konig is smart. Instead of chasing Vassili, he sets a trap to lure him out. Hours later, Vassili is woken up. There's trouble in one sector of Stalingrad. He rushes there with his team. Through his scope, he sees a shadow in a window. He fires. A helmet falls. Thinking he got the enemy, he and his partner Ludmila go inside the building to check. Big mistake. As soon as they leave, one of their teammates is shot. Inside, they find the sniper was just a dummy mannequin, a trap. Vassili spots a cigarette butt. Konig is still here, watching them. He whispers to Ludmila, "Stay hidden. We need a plan." But then German bombers attack, shaking the building. Ludmila panics and runs. Konig shoots her dead. In the chaos and dust, Vassili escapes just in time. Later, Konig returns to his hideout, where Sasha the young boy cleans his shoes. Sasha acts innocent, but he's secretly spying for Vassili. He feeds Konig fake information in exchange for food, while telling Danilov everything Konig does. When the Russians learn Konig is here, they bring in Kulikov, a former student of Konig's, to help Vassili understand how Konig thinks. Before heading back to battle, Vassili must attend a big party in his honor. At the party, Vassili sees Tanya, but Khrushchev drags him away to meet journalists and pose under a giant painting of Stalin. Khrushchev says, "Stalin is watching over us." The painting makes Vassili remember his past, the day his grandfather taught him to shoot. Back then, he missed his first shot, and the wolf killed their horse. But after that failure, he practiced hard and became the deadly sniper he is today. Days later, Vassili, Kulikov, and Volodya, another sniper, enter an abandoned building where Konig might be hiding. They move carefully and find a dead body posed like a sniper, just like Konig's last trap. This means they're on the right track. After crossing an open area, luckily avoiding enemy fire, they shoot a transmission wire to lure in German repairmen. Then they take a break. Volodya leaves to relieve himself to another room, but gets captured by Konig's team. The Germans torture him, trying to make him reveal Vassili's location. When he refuses to talk, they dress him as a German soldier and send him outside as bait. Kulikov, not recognizing Volodya, shoots him dead, thinking he's an enemy. Kulikov then sets a trap. He puts a helmet in the window, hoping Konig will shoot it and reveal his position. But Konig is too smart. He doesn't fall for it. The two decide to move locations, but as they jump across a broken floor, Konig shoots Kulikov dead. Vassili barely escapes. Vassili is heartbroken over Kulikov's death. Meanwhile, Khrushchev, the Russian leader, is getting impatient. He pressures Danilov to end this fight quickly. Later, Danilov visits Tanya, bringing her a gift and trying to flirt with her, but she shocks him by asking to return to the militia. When Vassili returns to headquarters, he's frustrated. He tells Danilov, "Konig is always one step ahead. I can't beat him." Danilov reassures him, "We have Sasha spying on Konig. From now on, you'll be ahead." But Danilov asks for a favor: talk to Tanya. Convince her not to leave. When Vassili talks to Tanya, she reveals why she wants to leave. "The Germans executed my parents. I need to fight them directly." Understanding her pain, Vassili gives her Kulikov's rifle. As she takes it, Tanya starts developing feelings for Vassili. Using Sasha's intel, both Konig and Vassili go to the same abandoned building, each thinking they'll ambush the other. Konig waits on a high platform, while Vassili and his new sniper partner sneak in through the pipes, but the shaking pipes alert Konig to their position. As they try to move, Konig shoots at them. Vassili's rifle flies out of his hands and his partner is wounded. Vassili sends his injured partner back and tries to get his rifle by tying a rope to a knife and throwing it. After many tries, he hooks the rifle, but Konig shoots the rope, cutting it. Then German planes bomb the building, shattering the glass roof. Pieces of glass fall, revealing Vassili's face to Konig. Back at headquarters, Danilov is arguing with Tanya, telling her, "You're more useful decoding messages than fighting." But their talk is interrupted when Vassili's wounded sniper partner arrives with bad news. Vassili is trapped in that building. Konig is trying to kill him. Without hesitation, Tanya crawls through the same pipes to reach Vassili. When Vassili sees her, he tells her, "Stay here. Follow my plan." Vassili explains. While Konig has been watching him through broken glass, Vassili has also been watching Konig the same way. He tells Tanya to get a piece of glass and instructs her, "Angle it so the sunlight blinds Konig." The plan works. The light reflection distracts Konig, giving Vassili just enough time to grab his rifle and shoot at Konig. He couldn't kill Konig, but he hits his hand, forcing him to retreat. Vassili and Tanya escape safely. Back at headquarters, the soldiers celebrate their survival. Vassili tells Tanya, they're happy because any moment could be their last. They want to enjoy life while they can. Later that night, Tanya lies down beside Vassili as he sleeps. She looks at him with love in her eyes, silently telling him how she feels. The next morning, Vassili confronts Danilov. "Stop writing about me. I can't handle being Russia's hero anymore. I just want to fight as a normal soldier." But Danilov refuses. To guilt-trip Vassili, he brings in Sasha, who proudly shows off new intel on Konig. "I saw yellow mud on Konig's shoes. There's only one factory in Stalingrad with that mud. That's where he's hiding." Sasha looks at Vassili with so much hope that Vassili can't say no. He agrees to let Sasha guide him to Konig's trap. Vassili hides among dead bodies near the factory, waiting for Konig. But he waits so long he falls asleep and misses his chance. Konig, still hiding, finally spots Vassili when sunlight reflects off his rifle scope. He's about to shoot when suddenly a German looter appears. The looter shakes Vassili's body, steals his belongings including his ID, and walks off, making the Germans think Vassili is dead. The German general tells Konig, "Vassili is dead. Your mission is over. Go home." But Konig doesn't believe it. He suspects Sasha has been tricking him, so he sets a new trap. He tells Sasha his next location, knowing if Vassili shows up he'll catch Sasha betraying him. At Russian headquarters, Khrushchev hears the Germans are spreading news that Vassili is dead. He's furious and orders Danilov to fix the story, whether it's true or not. Danilov doesn't believe Vassili is dead, but he has no choice. As he prepares to write a heroic obituary for Vassili, Vassili himself walks in. Vassili explains that he fell asleep during his mission and missed his shot. A looter stole his ID, making the Germans think he was dead. He hid until it was safe to return. Relieved, Danilov agrees to transfer Vassili out of the sniper unit. Vassili asks about Tanya. Sasha, who knew Vassili was alive, tells him, "Tanya heard you were dead. She went to the train station to kill Konig for revenge." Vassili rushes to save her. When he finds Tanya, they share a tender moment, confessing their love. But Danilov sees them together and gets jealous. Instead of writing about Vassili's heroism, he lies and calls him a traitor in his report. Meanwhile, Konig realizes Sasha betrayed him. He captures the boy and hangs him from a pole to lure Vassili out. While Vassili and Tanya rest at the station, Vassili tells her softly, "I first saw you on the train to Stalingrad. I loved you from that moment." But their sweet moment shatters when Tanya sees something horrible. Sasha's body hanging in the distance. Tanya screams in rage and tries to run to Konig. But Vassili grabs her. "No! That's exactly what he wants. If you run out now, he'll kill you too." Vassili promises her, "I will kill Konig, but we need to be smart." They quickly make a plan to take Konig down without falling into his trap. While Vassili hunts Konig, Tanya asks Danilov for help. They take Sasha's mother, Mrs. Filippov, out of the city using a special pass. When Mrs. Filippov asks about Sasha, They lie, he joined the Germans. But he's safe. On the way to the boat, a bomb explodes, badly injuring Tanya. Danilov thinks she's dead and leaves, but Mrs. Filippov refuses to give up. She convinces a doctor to let Tanya on the boat, saying, "She's my daughter." Vassili and Konig are now in a tense standoff, neither knowing where the other is hiding. Suddenly, Danilov appears beside Vassili. Full of guilt for his jealousy, he decides to sacrifice himself. Without warning, Danilov sticks his head out the window. Konig shoots him dead, revealing his position, but Vassili doesn't react immediately. Konig, thinking he killed Vassili, steps out to check. Big mistake. Vassili was waiting. He aims his rifle and Konig, knowing he's beaten, removes his hat in surrender. Vassili shoots, ending the duel. As a final act of respect, Vassili leaves Konig's rifle with Danilov's body. 2 months later, the Germans retreat from Stalingrad. Vassili gets a letter from Tanya. She's alive in a field hospital. Vassili visits her immediately. They reunite happily, finally free from war. And that's the end of Enemy at the Gates. If you enjoyed this recap, like this video, subscribe for more movie breakdowns, and share with friends. Thanks for watching. See you next time.